Hey everyone, and welcome to the Defining Your Life podcast, where we focus on living in our purpose, practicing presence, and activating our power in each moment. I'm Marsharelle, your resident pep talk provider, and I invite you to join me as we continue to learn, lift each other up, and strive to level up together. Because we are never finished defining our lives, and it takes a village, so let's build one. Stay tuned for the episode. Hey everyone, I hope that all is well and that this week you were able to make more deposits than withdrawals into your spiritual, emotional, and financial bank accounts. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I encourage you to take a listen to last week's episode so that you can get caught up. Now, I'm very excited to speak with today's rapid fire feature guest, Robin Muse, affectionately known to me as Aunt Robin, and I'm excited for her to chat with us about her business, amongst other things. So welcome, Aunt Robin.
Thank you, Marsharelle, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited that you asked me to be part of this space, and I'm just looking forward to it.
All right, then let's go. Describe the essential muse in 30 seconds or less.
All right. So the essential muse is an honest, knowledgeable education and information source and resource for those who want to nurture and nourish themselves fully. How? By using the power of plant-based tools that was given to us by God, and namely for me, essential oils, the fruits, the vegetables that uplift us, sustain us, and keep us well without side effects.
How did you originally discover and start using essential oils and sort of get into this plant-based living as well?
Right. Well, originally years ago, when I was working, still teaching, I would wake up and I was tired every day. Every day, just with all, family, teaching, working, and all that goes with that. I saw a workshop on how to relieve tired eyes. And I went, really not knowing what it was going to be about. And that was my introduction to lavender.
Mm-hmm.
So they use lavender on a compress, put it on your eyes, which I still do today, to help just soothe your eyes and make them feel relaxed. So from there, I started adding more oils, just started learning about it a little bit. And years after that, I was still teaching, but I had a handbell choir.
Mm-hmm.
We always played for the winter concert. I would spray my room with lavender before they came in so they could relax. I would spray the rehearsal where they practiced. So eventually they would come in and ask me to spray.
Oh.
After handbells was over, I had a little girl. She was 7th grade. 7th grade is always the crazy year. You are just a little crazy in 7th grade. So she's a 7th grader. She came to my room. She was in handbell choir, so she knew about the lavender and everything. And she came in my room with her friend, dragging her by the hand into my room. And she said, Miss Muse, I need some of that stuff. She needs some of that stuff now. So I was like, I said, well, what stuff are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about, Miss Muse. You know that stuff. I know where it is. And she starts walking over to my desk, and I said, okay. So I took out my my lavender, my oils, and I put some on her friend, and they left, and they were both smiling and happy. And so I said, well, if 7th graders realize the impact, this must be something.
Well, what are some of the lesser known benefits to using essential oils? You know, I know folks kind of have an idea of like, oh, essential oils, they smell nice and all these things, but there's so many benefits. Can you tell us a few?
Right. So first I want to say that the smell, our sense of smell is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the things I have learned through dealing with aromatherapy is how powerful our sense of smell is. So just by smelling an oil, it goes up, the molecules go up into the brain.
Mm-hmm.
They go up into the limbic system of the brain. So that's where we house all our emotions, our memory, and then it travels all through your body. So just from a sniff, you can get this oil that is traveling all through your body and can have impact in all different parts of your body, really from a sniff.
Mm.
So I thought that was just so powerful,
Mm-hmm.
our sense of smell. But also, so many people know about lavender and the benefits, but lavender is also good for burns. Lavender
Mm.
is also good for bug bites. Every oil has many, many benefits, not just one, so that you can get one oil and it's good for pain, it's good for um, cleaning, it's good for relaxation, it can be good for calming, it can be good for depression, it can be good for uplifting. Some of the oils can be used for nausea. So if you're having problems with your stomach, you can use the oils for nausea. Um, I use one in particular, fennel. Sometimes I just feel a little bloated, and I
Mm-hmm.
put a drop and use that, and it just really eases the bloat. Motion sickness. I made my daughter a product for motion sickness,
Mm.
and it works. So it can be used. Honestly, I think when you open your medicine cabinet, whatever you have in there, there's probably an essential oil that can do the same thing or something.
Mm.
So
Wow.
it can really be your little pharmacy that you make.
Yes. The Essential Muse is a second career for you, right?
It
And
is.
you kind of gave us an idea of like what made you get into the oils. What made you want to like pursue it as a business, though?
I love the oils and I have been dabbling in them. I've been reading on my own. Also, towards the end of my teaching career, had a lot of personal struggle
Mm-hmm.
and including getting divorced after a long time marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just gave me a chance to really pause and think about who I was
Mm-hmm.
and just what my values were and really, do a deep dive into myself. And so I wanted something that would really represent me and be
Mm.
a reflection of me without anybody else, any other input. This is
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
believe.
Yes.
And so out of that, I said, well, I'm going to start a business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start a business. And so that's really how I decided, I wanted something that was just for me. And that became the Essential Muse. And then the second part to that was as I attended webinars and as I looked at podcasts and read information, I did not see anybody that looked like me
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in that space. And so I just, now that I've been in it more, I have seen more people of color, but I just wanted to first understand why there's no people of color in this space. But can I be a voice that, speaks to women of color, men of color, and just, represent that part of it?
And something that you said a little bit earlier about something for you really is a great segue into my next question, which is, in this phase of your life and in the journey of Essential Muse, you have really prioritized your needs and desires. So, what's some advice that you might have for those who are struggling to prioritize themselves and their own lives and maybe struggling with guilt in that area when they do?
Well, that was a huge, huge struggle in my life because I did not prioritize to rise myself. I really didn't. So I was thinking, like, why not? As I was going through the journey, why not? And am I being selfish?
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, you start feeling guilty. Oh, I'm taking time for myself. I should be doing for my children. I should be doing for this one. So then
Mm-hmm.
you have that whole guilt and, just all excuses. Oh, I don't have time. I don't have the money. I don't have this. So many excuses so that you do not, show yourself value.
Mm.
So after a while, I realized this is exactly what I needed to do. I needed to do this because I didn't think, and I have learned, I really think this is true, that I cannot prioritize anyone else until I learn how to make myself a priority.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so in doing that, then I look at people differently. I look at their needs differently. And I think I can help them coming from a different frame of mind because I do now take more time just for myself. I
Mm.
have learned, one of the first things I learned to do was set boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
and that was just so important for me to learn how to set boundaries. And then when things got difficult, to honor those boundaries, no matter if it was causing a little dissension
Mm.
for the person. So, I read books about it. I really, went in because I felt like boundaries was one of the first things I needed to do. So it's just been a step by step process. And it's still a, work in progress, but in the morning, before I get out of bed, I do deep breathing
Mm-hmm.
because I want to make sure I am relaxing my body, that I am staying in the parasympathetic mode. So when things happen, I'm not ready to fly off the handle. So I practice deep breathing in the morning, throughout the day, sitting at a red light. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I do this because I know it's important for me.
Yeah.
So it's a little thing, but it's something that I do every day. And I do think, as a believer, that whole selfish, am I being selfish? Am I being
Mm.
selfish? It just keeps kicking in. And
Yes.
one day I was reading my Bible and I saw, and I was reading, love, love thy neighbor as thyself. Now, how many times have I read that? But in that instance, I saw, oh, yourself should be first. Love thy neighbor
Mm.
as thyself. You can't love your neighbor if you don't love yourself. And so that just really helped me with that whole thing.
When we're ready to receive and when we see it, it can change
Yeah,
everything.
everything.
It's so crazy.
Everything. It
But I
does.
do want you to tell us, like, where can everyone find your products and learn more about your services?
I am so excited to let everyone know that I just put my website up. This has been a work in progress.
Yay.
Shout out to my daughter who was the webmaster here, but it is www.theessentialmuse.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I am an aromatherapist. I am a certified health coach, and so I have products that I am selling e-commerce online that I make, and they're made with love. They're made with organic products. They are all designed to help you, mind, body, and spirit. And I also do health coaching and workshops. And so if anyone is interested, go to the website and I hope to hear from you.
I'm Robin. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was definitely a lovely chat. And I want to
Um,
leave you all with a quote from Carrie Hope Fletcher today. Prove to the world you are worth something by treating yourself with the utmost respect and hope that other people will follow your example. And even if they don't, at least one person in the world is treating you well. You. And I think that wraps everything up in a bow.
that is good. That says it all. That says it all.
Well, thanks everyone for listening today. If what you've been hearing has been beneficial, just let me be a broken record and say review, share, rate, and subscribe. It certainly helps the podcast to grow and hopefully the person that you're sharing it with. So I can't wait to chat with you all again next week. Take care until then.